I have a question for you. What are the excuses that keep you from doing what you do best? That is coaching. A lot of times we think of that as digital marketing. It kind of gets in the way for what we want to do most, doesn't it? And the question I have for you is, what are those excuses? What I hear from people as I talk with people is that one of those excuses is, well, I'm not sure that I am good enough. I'm not sure that I have what it takes. So in a way, what we do is we create a self-belief system about what's possible and what's not possible. If only somebody would do this for me, then I could do this. If only I had this list of names, then I could open these doors. I know how to talk to people. I know how to sell it. I just don't know how to get that door cranked open. And it is one of the things that gets a lot of people stuck. And so we would like you to just pause for a moment and think about that. How is that impacting you? And how does that stop you from really doing what you're passionate about? And that is coaching and changing lives, because that's what you really got into the business to do, isn't it? Another excuse that we hear from people is, you know what? I have sent out all sorts of messages. You wouldn't believe all the messages I sent out. And all I get is crickets. I talked with a coach today who said that for a whole year and a half, she sent out messages consistently every day. And it took her a year and a half before she had anything but crickets. So I just say that because we, I think, sometimes are unrealistic about how quickly we will see results. But it's an excuse that we also create, but just got crickets. So why should I continue, right? But when we stop, then we also stop the action that may create a result. So those are two excuses. Joe is going to share with you some other excuses that we hear from coaches as well.
The next two excuses that I'm going to share with you kind of go hand in hand. And it's the, I don't know where to start, and I don't know how to start excuses. And we hear these a lot. And they kind of tie in with Lois's first point, which is that limiting belief. When we start hearing the excuses, I don't know how to start, and I don't know where to start, it really goes back into that limiting belief story, because at the end of the day, it's all about taking action. You have to be willing to move forward. I'll promise you that when you start out, you're not going to get it right. It's just not how life works. When you start as a baby, you don't start running. You start rolling around, and you start crawling, and you toddle all over the place, and you fall down a whole bunch of times. The exact same thing happens in your coaching career. Now, at this point, if you've been coaching for 3 years or 5 years and you're still having some hit and misses, you're probably still in that crawl phase. You probably still have a lot more mistakes to make before you hit your stride, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to be taking that consistent action, though. As Lois said, we were talking with someone today, or she was talking with someone, and they sent out messages for a year and a half. That's a year and a half of consistent messaging in order to, before there was that reciprocal action of telephone calls and then clients sitting in front and revenue coming in. So it's important that if you hear yourself using the excuse, I don't know how, you need to think back to those limiting beliefs and start taking action. Take imperfect action. And the last one I'm going to go over with you is the excuse we hear a lot is, what if I try and I just end up spending all my money and going broke? That's that's kind of one of those excuses we'd all like to go, oh yeah, that's a great excuse. But at the end of the day, it is just an excuse. It's not about resources. It's always about being resourceful. I get the importance of money. I get it a lot. I've put tens of thousands of dollars into figuring this out the same way that Lois has. And we have come up with a solution. However, if we had started out by saying that, oh, what if I spend all my money and I just go broke? That's, again, we're back to a limiting belief. It's never, ever about the resources. It's always about being resourceful. There's always a way to figure it out if you want to figure it out. And we know you do, because you're a coach. And like all the rest of the coaches we know, you have an important message that needs to go out to the world. So we want to encourage you today to listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth and see how they're defining you and how they're defining your future, and change them so that you can change your mindset so that you can move into the future that you deserve. We're so excited for you, because we know how just you're a couple tweaks away from the success that you're looking for. We can't wait to talk to you guys next time.